Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This is CXC Beauty and my name is Christian. So today I'm going to do a video that I didn't think I was going to be doing because I wasn't planning on purchasing these items. But since I did get them, I'm going to do like a little first impressions review. Now I already had the original Norvina palette, but I did just get the volume 2 and volume 3. So I'm going to do kind of like a comparison and we're going to take a look at all the shades in here and then I'm going to do an eye look. So when the first Norvina palette launched, I was super excited about this. As you know, you've probably seen it on the internet before, but it's different from anything ABH has launched before. It's a large palette with way more shades, and then it's like Norvina's signature colors with the purples and all that stuff. And it was called Norvina Collection. So we automatically assumed that there was going to be more products. I thought it was going to be like maybe a palette, maybe some other things, highlighter, like a whole kind of like face collection, eye collection, like for everything. But it turns out that they were all eyeshadow palettes. And ABH has recently just been launching and launching and launching stuff. So they've kind of done the whole ColourPop thing where they keep launching things like every week. Now that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but that's kind of how I feel like with the launches right now, because we got Norvina palette first, and then she announced that there was going to be another thing coming, and she announced volume 2, which is this beautiful palette here. And I'm not gonna lie, this packaging is gorgeous, the shades are gorgeous, everything's beautiful. But this literally came out like a month later. And then maybe a week later, she announced volume 3, which is this beautiful palette right here. Which this makes more sense to me because these are all beautiful fall tone shades, which is kind of like the time that we're going in right now. So this palette did make sense to me. What didn't make sense to me was how quickly they were launched one after the other. It's kind of insane to me. I understand ColourPop because ColourPop eyeshadow palettes like $12. They're little tiny palettes. You know, you can buy multiple and not break the bank. But these are a little bit more expensive. These are $60 each. And as a consumer, I would think buying all 3 of these palettes is quite a lot. I mean, if you have the money to spend, by all means, you know, buy whatever you want. But $60 per palette to be like so close to each other is a lot for the average consumer. Now, I don't solely blame Anastasia Beverly Hills or any makeup company. As a business person myself, you know, you put out there what kind of based on your market or based on what people want. And these days people want quick turnaround. So I do blame the consumer a little bit because they're always wanting something new all the time. It's like you don't catch your breath whether you're a consumer or a business owner. You have to, it's always something has to be new. But besides all that, we shall see how these palettes perform and what we can create. I wanted to quickly just give you like a closer look. I know that a lot of you have seen this online, but just in case you haven't, this is volume 1. So they are all like rows A through E and then 1 through 5. So that's the new numbering system for these collections. And she did this to kind of make it easier for the artist to describe what they're doing. So you would say like volume 1, D2 is the shade that you're using. But this is volume 1, which is the purples. I really love the color story in this palette. I think it's very gorgeous. And a lot of these shades work really well. And here are some of the shimmers and mattes from volume 1. Again, beautiful pigments. This one is a little bit more purpley red tones, which is gorgeous. Here's a closer look at volume 2. Again, same numbering system. Also a very gorgeous palette. Now this one is more centered around blues and greenish tones with a few other pops of color in there. So it is an interesting palette. Green is my favorite color, but these aren't the colors I would necessarily go for right away when I go shopping for eyeshadows. So this wouldn't be my first choice. Okay, so here are some of the mattes and shimmers from volume 2. Again, the pigment is very nice. I would say the only kind of one that was harder to work with was A2, which is that yellow in the middle. But besides that, all the other pigments are very nice. And then this here's volume 3, which is my absolute favorite one. I feel like these tones are perfect for this time of year. And then we have a lot of like warm tone oranges, beautiful pops of color. Like these greens I would put maybe in my lower lash line with all these beautiful tones. And then I love like these goldy shades right here. Super gorgeous. I absolutely love this. I love this shade right here. I actually have a shade just like this for my own brand. It's called Poisonberry, and it's like the same kind of tone. So maybe I'll do like a side-by-side comparison of those. Okay, so here on my arm, I've swatched a couple of the mattes and a couple of the shimmers from volume 3. I did sort of like one matte from each row, and then all like the shimmers that I like the most. Okay, so I've already primed my face, and I'm gonna do eyes today first because I'm gonna try to do something a little more exciting, a little bit more colorful, and I don't want anything to fall into my concealer, so I'm gonna do eyes first. And I'm gonna prime. I don't have the ABH primer, but I do have this Makeup Revolution one. I haven't bought the ABH one because I still have this, and since I don't get sent anything, everything I buy myself or Tony buys it, which is my partner. I don't buy things that I necessarily don't have to if I have like something I already like. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out a little bit. Then I'm gonna apply on the other eye. Now the reason I'm also putting this base down is because just from watching Norvina's stories and her swatches, she always puts the ABH primer when she puts these pigments down. So I'm just assuming that this is the best way for them to perform. I do understand that because, you know, when you're using like some pressed pigments, if you don't have a sticky base or like a bright white base, the colors and pigments don't show up as well. So that is understandable. But I would like to try these also with no base, you know, just in case you're like a person that wants to just apply a quick shadow and run out the door kind of thing. So just as a disclaimer, I did buy these with my own money. So I did buy the Norvina Volume 1 palette, and then Tony bought Volume 2 and Volume 3 for me. So these were not sent to me or anything like that. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and dive into Volume 3 since this is the palette I do like the most, and I've already tried Volume 1. And I'm gonna start with E3, which is this lighter orange shade down at the bottom. And I'm gonna go in with the CXC Beauty Precision Blender brush. This one's a little stained, but it doesn't have any blue pigment on it. And I'm gonna pick up that color and start packing it on. Sorry if I'm looking down here, it's where I have my mirror. Although I could use the giant mirror in the palette. The mirrors in this palette are absolutely amazing. They're like really, really nice mirrors, and they're huge. So I do see where the money went into these palettes and why they are $60. But like I said, I don't have any problem with a $60 palette. Just the rate that she launched $60 palettes in turns out to be way more than just $60. So you're spending $180 to get them all, and a lot of the shades in the palettes are very similar. Different variations of the color, but still very similar. Okay, that shade went on flawlessly. This pigment is amazing. I absolutely love this orange. I do have to say, some of these eyeshadows have like a really strong smell to them. Like if you smell the eyeshadow palette, I don't know if it's the plastic or the glue that's in the palette or whatever, but it has like a strong kind of like almost like hair dye smell. Okay, now I'm gonna dive into shade C2, which is right here. And that one's more of a reddish tone. So it's like an orangey red, leaning more towards the red. So I'm just gonna tap that off a little bit, and I'm gonna start using this to deepen the crease. And then with a slightly fluffier blending brush, I'm gonna jump back into E3 and just to help buff out those edges and also pull the eyeshadow outward. Okay, so those blended together so beautifully. I do love Anastasia Beverly Hills formulas, so very nice, very nice. And to cut the crease, I'm just gonna go back in with my cut crease canvas. Okay, so I'm gonna do like a half cut crease. And now taking shade B2, which is like a beautiful greenish blue, turquoisey color on this flat shader brush. This is a CXC Beauty Crease shader brush. And I'm just gonna start packing that pigment on top of that cut crease canvas. And now with a little pencil brush, I'm gonna dip back into C2, which is the deeper reddish orange shade we used. And I'm gonna blend the edge of this cut crease. I'm also gonna take some on my little CXC Beauty shader brush and blend this edge. Now I'm gonna go into A4, which is that beautiful lime green. And I'm gonna take this little domed Morphe brush. It's an E18. The numbers have rubbed off a little bit. But I'm gonna take that lime green and just really pack it into the inner corner. Oh my God, this shade is gorgeous. I've never seen a lime green in a makeup palette that has been this vibrant. Okay, I'm gonna quickly jump into complexion. I'm just gonna do my face really quick and I'll be right back. And then I also did my brows because I forgot earlier, and I just went in with some ABH. I did a little bit of the brow powder, which is the duo. I used medium brown, and I actually really love this for a quick fluffy brow. And then I set it with the Anastasia Clear. I can't speak English today. I set it with Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. So this is what I used today, just to keep it in the theme. Okay, now I'm gonna go back into eyes. Okay, so just looking at this for the under eye, I think I wanna go with a little bit of a deeper green. So I'm gonna go in with E1, just to kind of incorporate a little bit more color. And I'm gonna start with the outer edge of my eye. Kind of just leave it as the thickest part there. And then I'm also gonna dip into D3, which is the more medium green in the palette, just more centered. And then I'm gonna dip into A1, which is like a yellow green. Same brush, I've been using the same brush for all three of them, just to connect it into that neon green. Now going back into C2, which is our red shade, and I'm just gonna use that and blend out the outer edge. Okay, now I'm gonna dip into C1, which is a beautiful, very light gold. And I'm gonna apply that on my brow bone. As a little bit of a highlight. Then I also want to take that shade on the dome brush with the lime green. And I'm going to put it a little bit over that lime green, just to give it a little sparkle. Now I'm going to do a little bit of liner, and this is the CXC Beauty dual-ended liner. And I'm going to use the pen side, which is like the brush tip. Just bear with me. I'm going to try not to fail at this. Not too bad, that's a really dramatic wing. The reason I love this liner and I love the design of this brush tip is like you can do the most precise lines, but then you have the other side too, which is like a fatter felt tip to then fill it up really fast. Okay, so I went ahead and added my lashes and a little bit of lower lash mascara. Now I'm gonna do the rest of my face and some lips, then I'll be right back. Okay, so for my blush trio, I'm gonna use this ABH one. This is in Peachy Love, and I accidentally broke the orangey shade. But this is the blush I wanna use. I just wanna keep everything kind of like consistent with ABH. And I actually do love these blushes a lot. And then for lips, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of MAC Spice Liner. Then I'm kind of just gonna fill in my lips with this liner. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go in with this Milani Keep It Full gloss, and this is in Tropical Sunshine, and I actually really love these glosses. The main ingredient in this is castor oil, so it's very nourishing for your lips, and it's just beautiful. So I'm just gonna put that right on top and kind of blend in the lip liner with it. For highlight today, I'm gonna go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills X Amrezy highlighter and a little CXC Beauty cheek defining brush. And I'm just gonna put that right here on the high points of my face. And then with my finger, I'm gonna put a little bit on the bridge of my nose. And I also like to take it up into my forehead there. And then with the same blush brush as before, I'm gonna just diffuse that highlighter a little bit. Okay, so this is the completed look using ABH and Norvina's Vol.3 Collection Vol.3 palette. I enjoyed every single shade I used from this palette so far. So that is my complete overview on these three palettes. I did enjoy using them. Of course, I've used the original one before and it works wonderful. And then these are the two new ones that I did kind of the first impression. Like I said before, if I was gonna pick one myself, I would go with this one since we are in the fall time. And I feel like this is a palette I would get the most use out of. But I do like Volume 1 as well. The only one that I really wouldn't pick up is Volume 2, and only because these like blue and green colors aren't my favorite to work on the eyes. I did use a little bit of greens and blues today just to try to do something different, but it's not my like go-to. These are all available on Sephora, ABH, I believe Beautylish. I think the only one that's exclusive to Sephora.com would be Volume 3, but I'm not sure. I'll leave everything linked down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. And I did pay for these myself and obviously my partner, so it does come out of the same kind of pile of money, you would say. So we did pay for these ourselves. So this is gonna be an honest review. I don't get sent anything by ABH or anything like that. And I do own my own brand, so it's not like I need to blow steam into any of these brands' asses. So this is gonna be my honest opinion. These are really good shadows. If you are looking for something new to pick up for the fall, go ahead and pick up Volume 3. If you got money to burn, buy them all. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked my video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's grow the CXC Beauty family. The more the merrier. I'll be doing a big giveaway really soon, so stay tuned. I thought I was gonna do it in this video, but I'm gonna do it in my next video, and I'll put a post about it on Instagram so you guys can check that out. But until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.